Here I am in Shanghai, China, photographing the Kunchu prints on Polaroid 8x10, having been given rare access to document one of the oldest forms of Chinese opera, preserved here in the ancient water town of Zhujiajiao. How does one end up in this scenario, you might ask? An American photographer wearing shorts, photographing the Kunchu prints, a crown jewel of Chinese culture? Well, 4 months earlier, as all watershed life events precipitate, it all started with an email. A man by the name of Jesse Lin, owner of a photography studio in Shanghai, had sent me what one could describe as a spiritual love letter, proclaiming our mutual connection through the magic of Polaroid and encouraging me to visit him in China so he could show me his 20x24 Polaroid system. Jesse operates one of only a handful of functional Polaroid 20x24 studios in the world, and the first of its kind in China. Because I simply must pull on every loose thread dangled before me, I found myself 2 weeks later at the Chinese embassy in Manhattan, applying for a 10-year visa, the minimum for such a trip. I trusted Jesse in small part because his 20x24 business is interconnected with John Reuter's 20x24 studio. He's the torchbearer and godfather of Polaroid's marquee artistic format, and John had previously visited Jesse twice, ensuring me it was a leap of faith worth taking.
Have you ever been to China?
No, I've never been to China.
Total mind. Shanghai makes New York City look like Minneapolis.
This seemed like an opportunity that couldn't be ignored. The chance to have a truly uncharted cross-cultural experience and explore the artistry, history, community, and industry of analog photography in China. A valve that seemed to be birthing endless new creations, but with virtually no exposure to the people who love the same wonderful explorations of tangible photography as I do, but love it in Chinese. And because of China's internet firewall, very little of this culture has been exposed to the Western world. And as I began to fall in love with the many photographers, performers, and preservers of Chinese culture that you're about to meet, it felt like almost my responsibility to share these stories with the rest of the planet. In part 1 of this 3-part series, we will focus on the surprisingly short history of picture taking in China. We'll plunge into a massive photo market to discover the cameras that have come from Chinese soil, and meet a kindred spirit of Polaroid obsession, with a unique connection to the revitalization of photography and personal expression in China. All this and much more on In an Instant Inside China. Day 1 in China. After months of anticipation, we're finally pulling up. I'm joined by Australian filmmaker Henry Thong, a documentarian/film homie who in this moment is in the process of making a feature film about the resurgence of film photography, and has agreed to join me and film this whole adventure because he's just as nuts as I am.
Oh my gosh.
Together, we're bounding into a fairly unfamiliar situation. To Americans, China is largely a mystery, and the relationship between our governments is often presented to us as adversarial. And while I spent months researching what I could, it was hard to get a sense of what it would actually be like to be here. We get into a car with Jesse Lin, owner of 20x24 Studio Shanghai, and he shepherds us to our dwellings. An apartment building owned by an incredibly virtuous Malaysian man named Tay, who made us feel both immediately welcomed and immensely cared for. With our clocks flipped 12 hours and our bodies in a cultural dunk tank, having this place to chill ended up being massive for business. I sort of knew what was going on. Jesse and I mapped out our intense 2-week schedule, but I could not have imagined the true scope of what laid before us. Before embarking on any camera acquiring or art doing, I wanted to first learn about the history of image making here. So we visited a historian of photography at the Museum of Contemporary Photography in Shanghai to brush up on our lore.
1839年发明了，1840几年就进到中国，而且有了拍下来的影版的照片，逐渐被清政府的这些官员所接受。因为最早的时候说是叫摄魂术，摄魂术他不敢拍，后来呢就慢慢的接受了以后，70年到1910年之间，其实有很多这样的照片留下来。
So there were 30 years where China could have been captured more broadly with camera technology, and it wasn't.
也有，但是相对会比较少。1878年以后有了干板以后呢，要比湿板又方便了，因为它可以生产、保存、运输，所以就是照片就越来越多了。
Once photography became an acceptable form of capture in China, did it blow up immediately and become like something, okay, we got to capture every famous person, we have to capture these famous landmarks? Or did it take many years for it to become something that was critical to history and capturing history?
我觉得啊，就是从银版开始，银版它发明以后，它其实跟日常记录没有关系，跟艺术更没关系，它只是为欧洲的贵族拍肖像服务的。民国时期也好，解放后也好，实际上普通老百姓的收入是非常低的，所以他对于用一台相机去拍照，其实都是非常奢侈的一个事儿。
As the 20th century saw photography become more accessible globally, the people of China endured a difficult century of change. Cameras and processing photos were simply a luxury in these hard times, and often discouraged well into the 1980s. But one way to alleviate the cost of photography was to produce film domestically, which the newly seated communist government greenlit in the late 1950s. This birthed Lucky Film Company, which produced color film for the Chinese market from the late 50s until 2012. Almost concurrently with our arrival here, Lucky announced they've revived color film production in China, suddenly making them a major factor in the survival of color film in the post-digital era. Yeah, you know me well.
Was there ever an attempt by a Chinese company at this time to make some sort of instant product? Or was that just like, we're not even going there?
我们就说宝丽来，宝丽来其实像上海的海鸥相机厂，它在80年代到90年代那段时间里面，曾经做过宝丽来的这个仿宝丽来的机器，包括就是上海感光胶片厂做过这个仿制一次成像的这个底片，但是当时我记得是黑白的，它还不是彩色的。
Really?
是的。
但是呢，产量非常
black and
好。
white peel apart Chinese Seagull film? Wow, I had no idea. That's really interesting. I don't think anyone knows
它应
that.
该它只是一个就是试制过程当中的一个产物，它没有量产。
With a cursory understanding of China's unique experience with the photographic form, I had my eye on some classic local cameras that emerged from mid-century China, with hopes of being able to wield one of these classics on our many adventures ahead in Shanghai and Beijing.
We are here outside of the Xinguang Camera Market, a place with a lot of different camera stores inside. We are equipped with $350 USD. I am ready for action. I'm ready to go shopping. What I'm looking for today is stuff that I can't get in the US, stuff that's maybe never been available in the US, Chinese native brands. Let's go in, let's spend some cash. Say hi to the camera.
Hi.
This is Jesse's daughter. She's gonna be very good. She's gonna be helping us translate today.
I hope I'm doing well.
Yeah, there's a lot of complicated photo terms that I've discovered are actually very difficult to translate.
Yeah, I will try to use
Okay.
app. I'm so sorry.
I mean, no, you're
I'm not
doing.
that kind of professional.
Well, I disagree. We'll see, I guess.
Okay.
So what's kind of interesting is like the cost of like new goods doesn't, I mean, at least as far as we can tell so far, it doesn't seem to be like a way to get a steal on something that's like a new product. I guess what we still have to find out is once we enter the used game, whether we can start finding some steals. Because like there was a Godox light that I literally want to purchase. I would buy it on B&H tomorrow, and it's the same price here, so it's not really like worth buying and bringing all the way home. So we're working through it. Are you familiar with the date?
Oh, the date?
Yeah, like the 9/11/01.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't great.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
And
Hello,
here,
guys.
this is what it's all about.
Yeah, good to see you.
I'm Ben.
Yeah, good to see you. 你好.
What kind of like local brands should we be like looking out for?
Local brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can find the Seagull and the Shanghai and the Lucky. Lucky is a film brand.
And then where might we find vintage cameras? Do you know of anywhere around that sells those?
Yes, here you can find it in the area C on my left at 50 meters.
Oh.
Yes, many second-hand camera shop.
Okay.
You can
50
find us.
meters away?
Yeah, on my left.
Oh, okay. So we'll get our film here,
Yeah.
and then we'll get our vintage cameras
you can
there.
buy the camera over there.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I'm also seeing a ton of like brands I've never heard of. Are some of these re-spooled films? Like, what am I looking at here? This wall in particular.
Higher than 90%. is all from Kodak.
Okay, that's
All
just
from
like
the USA.
respooled with a different
yes,
label.
all of it, the motion picture and all the remove the ramjet.
I think we might have to buy some films. Let's put an order together. Sonia, would you mind helping me like convert some of these prices? What is that?
$20. 10.
10. Okay.
Yeah.
Like what's like Yes Star? That's like a
Yeah, yes,
respooled.
sir. Yes, also Fujifilm in USA.
Oh, okay.
So we know.
Yeah.
Just also Kodak.
Kodak, Fujifilm, Yes Star.
Yes, yeah,
The
exactly.
classic pipeline.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, remember our budget is $350 with the camera that we have to get, so we got to be careful here. Things could spin out of control really quickly. I mean, I have to get this. You understand as a viewer that I have to get this, right? Okay, so let's see what we did here. Okay, so we have Fuji 100. That is fresh stuff from Japan. We have Lucky 400, fresh stuff from China. We have Vibe Cam film, which I know is a respooled film, but is really cute. We have Frania Solaris, which is a shout out to Italy. We're really traveling the world here. We have Centuria 200, the Konica film that they received directly from their distributor. I think that's cool. You gotta get that. We have a respooled IMAX film, which I've shot similarly before, and I love this like sort of squared off canister. That's really cool. And then I found this bottom shelf Lucky 100 film, which I'm sure doesn't
expired for a
perform
long
very
time,
well,
yes.
but
Almost
you know,
20 years.
yeah, but as an homage to Lucky and where we are, I figured let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Nice, thank you so much.
谢谢。
What is that?
There's hot heat in there. Do you know like the ticket stuff?
Yes, I've heard this can give you
it's
like
the
a
same.
disease.
Yeah.
Thermal printing. Who needs Polaroid when you have thermal printing? It's actually really cool.
Digital, yes.
How much is this?
Like out of
Oh, it's now it's filming. It died of battery loss, but I got a very quick sense of it, and I love it. Thank you so much. All right, we did it. Thank you so much.
It's okay.
This is gonna be like Sonia carrying stuff is gonna become like a. It's part of the bit.
It's becoming a bit. It's very strange. Everyone is collected in a semicircle to shoot this poor woman. Everyone's frothing. I mean, I'm frothing, but you know, just because I'm thirsty. All right, I'm gonna go in there. It would be crazy not to.
Yeah.
I don't know if I just disrupted that environment. No, I don't think they were happy about that. All right, here we go. Now we're on the U side of the building. The air has changed. It's a lot mustier, but that's the way I like it. I want to buy a Seagull TLR. That's something that has been like a goal of mine. Maybe which one should I get? How much do they cost? We don't have an infinite budget, but
what size you want? Different size, different price. yeah, you know.
yeah. What about this guy?
This I can see if you want 2000 with fit, body and lens.
Wow. The shutter is so quiet.
Yeah.
75 millimeter f3.5. I considered bringing a TLR here with me, but instead I would much rather buy one. And the leather's in pretty good condition. It's a deal. Buying a TLR with my phone from 1950s China. It's been a pleasure.
We did it. We got a beautiful Seagull 4B, one of the most renowned cameras of Chinese photographic history. But what makes the Seagull so uniquely emblematic of China itself? The Shanghai Camera Museum had a lot to offer in that department.
Oh my God, okay. We need to take a moment here to recognize the Tascam, one of the finest cameras ever made. It's like very cool displays.
他很喜欢空间设计的
So now we're entering the Chinese camera history here. This is of particular interest to me because I really don't know anything about this.
中国在1949年之前也有一些民营的小厂在做照相机，但是成规模的，这是1949年以后就应该说解放建国以后，第一台相机是这台，上面这台呢它是仿苏联的左耳机，然后这个是中国国家指定生产相机的，一共34家厂。其实照相机上面，其实它的技术、光学制造到机械性能，它当时我们叫一穷二白。刚刚那个叫新中国成立，那个时候是在 机械制造方面实际上是非常落后的，所以在相机制造方面，它起步其实是为了中国有自己的相机，但是你要自己去研究的话、研发的话是没有这个专业人员和这个技术方面的能力的，所以基本上都会是仿制。你包括日本也是一样，其实我们跟很多国家的相机工业起步都是一样的。最早是1958年的时候做了这样4台相机，2台仿徕卡，1台仿艾克法，1台仿 Rolleiflex。
Here we go here.
对，这是1999年海鸥最后一台产品。
No. Wait, what happened to Seagull? It turns out that as China became fully open to the import of international cameras, the state-owned manufacturers couldn't keep up with new technologies like autofocus, for example. So they decided to almost entirely shutter domestic camera manufacturing. But this facility maintains a perfectly preserved mechanical work area from a Seagull factory and keeps one of their technicians on staff.
A professor from the processing line now present. If you would be interested to meeting him, he can arrange that.
Okay. Yeah.
在里面，我们可以到里面来看。
Hey, Ben. Nice to meet you.
你现在你在这里做什么？
我在这里主要就是我们那个上课的机器做保养。
那经常被学生。
So if I have problems with this, you're the guy to talk to.
所以他如果这个相机有问题，他可以找你是吗？
可以啊，没问题。这个相机是我最拿手。
This one he excels at this camera.
Yeah, cool. So did you ever work with digital cameras, or were you always working with mechanical film bodies?
我胶片相机。
Always film.
Always film. So are you surprised that film cameras have taken on a new life and a new popularity in the modern age of digital cameras?
这是我最大的愿望。
This is my biggest wish.
It is. I mean, it's happening. It's really happening.
因为我对机械相机是最熟悉，数码相机电磁化的变化太快，然后从稳定性来说，我还是觉得机械相机比较稳定。
Tell him I don't think there's any need for him to adapt to the digital world. Film shooters are out there, the revitalization is happening, and that I'm very happy that he's doing this work in the modern day.
谢谢。
Further exploring the legacy of Chinese camera production, we paid a quick visit to a former technician of the state-owned Phoenix camera, which during its history grew to produce some of the most commonly used camera models in China. And I gotta say, I just love this guy.
然后呢，离开了工厂呢，我们就到上海来，就自己开了一个这样的照相器材店。菲尼克斯，这个就是原来我们工厂做的产品。
It's from his factory.
这是不同时期做的，那这个是最早的。
这是最早的。I think this one's quite meaningful. If you want to do a collection, you can choose this one because it's quite meaningful. It's the first kind of product produced in Phoenix factory.
I think this thereby meets our full budget of $350 that was arbitrarily and not properly calculated. And we've got a Phoenix Ever-Ready case here. Wow. All right. Let's do it.
反而很多，你看现在年轻人他接触了数码以后，回过头来到我们这里来选择一些胶片相机，因为他没有体验过。你讲太特殊，因为每一个买我们相机的人都有一个故事。因为
你有没有什么故事？
其实我这里你看开店这么长时间，卖出去的相机也非常多，每卖出一个相机就等于跟一个人结了个缘。
哦 ，OK，so
你理解吗？
我理解。
就是相机呢，它是卖给有缘的人，比如说他到我这里来，他看中了这个相机，对吧？他掏钱买去了，买去了以后，但我们就结缘了。为什么结缘呢？有可能他在买了这个相机以后，会经常到我们店里来，所以每一部相机其实都有一个故事。
As part of our introductory cross-cultural brain blast, we had to hop on some rails and head over to Beijing, where we had a little more breathing room in the schedule for purely photographic escapades, and I could get a chance to see if this Seagull can really fly. However, immediately upon arrival, we had to go to the police.
What's happening, Ben?
A good deed is being done. We're returning a bag that was left at a bus station. You're handing it to me?
Yeah. I shouldn't be filming this, should I?
Jesse is now going to become a national hero as we've returned this person's belongings.
Good job, Jesse.
Good job, Jesse. I'm not looking for a medal or anything, but maybe just some recognition in the local paper. Area white man saves the day. I don't know. It's just a suggested headline. We hoped this act of karmic goodwill would translate to an increased rate of bangers when we took the Seagull out for a test flight within Beijing's Forbidden City, which was the center of China's political power for over 5 centuries. That's longer than I've been alive.
Doing street photography things, which is not really my style, but at the same time, everyone's kind of dressed up. It's like kind of the occasion. It's hard to resist. Doesn't seem like anyone really minds either. Something that we haven't gotten a lot of time to do, but we're kind of enjoying right now is just kind of like sitting, watching, observing, taking stuff in, and like kind of hopping into some other people's photos. We're kind of stealing shots, which is typically unadvisable, but it's part of the cross-cultural experience. An American takes the photo, a Chinese person takes the photo. There's something very special about that. They'll never see ours, we'll never see theirs. It's kind of wild. I kind of love it. I do this and like, kind of like, boom. You can frame it up, very Vivian Marr. You can be very subtle. Get your focus. No one really knows what you're doing. You're just looking down. You can even hold your phone. Just be like, oh, maybe I'm doing this. No one knows what's going on. They maybe see that the lens is facing them, but it can be a very subtle kind of experience. And the shutter's so quiet. That's why so many street photographers in New York back in the day would use TLRs, because you could just be on the subway, wind up, boom, look away, quietly wind it. So that's what I'm kind of doing right now with this Seagull TLR. OG.
In Shanghai, we learned at the Camera Museum that early processes like tintypes and daguerreotypes were used sparingly in China, rejected by many who believed that a camera could steal your soul. With that harrowing notion fresh in mind, we were surprised to accidentally come across a tintype studio in Beijing's 798 Art District. I mean, we're literally on the way to get a cup of coffee and we find a tintype studio and they're like, yeah, come on in, let's do this, film whatever. We took a triptych of Jackie Chan, like it's casual, and my shirt says shut f up.
这个就慢下来了，就是每一张都很珍贵，而且它也是那种跟开盲盒一样，就是你看它的不确定性也很高，你可拍对了或者拍不好了，这都自己控制不了，就是它特别有意思。
Thank you so much. This is really cool. We did not expect. Oh, hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So you are his instructor, his master.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you took the Jackie Chan images, the images around here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what got you into wet plate collodion?
08年嘛，08年，然后看到这个材料，就开始用这个方式，然后来做创作。当时国内还很少人用这个东西嘛。
Do you feel like you're part of some tradition? Is there a tradition of tintype processes here?
中国基本上是没有的啊，因为从这个湿版是1851年的嘛，啊，在1851年到1900年左右，这中间实际上是湿版早期在世界上比较兴盛的一个阶段。但实际上中国从1840年以后就一直是战乱嘛，在中国的这种湿版影像大多都是国外的什么。专门做战馆的，然后要不就是一些战地摄影师，然后来中国拍，拍完以后这些湿版的影像实际上也就回到了西方国家了。但是这个湿版的消费化，其实在中国是一直没有被打开的啊。就到了现在，实际上你看现在这些年，国内有好多人做湿版的工作室啊什么的，慢慢的把它做商业化，或者是把它做成一个艺术的媒介和手段，然后来做创作，才慢慢的这样兴起来啊。我还是比较喜欢这个拍摄的过程啊，就这种慢节奏下来带来的那种作品的呈现，而且这个呈现它是有非常强的这种手工性在里面啊，就是有点那种去工业化的那种东西，而且它是唯一的嘛，艺术创作啊，就是其实从某种角度来讲，其实我找到了一个跟我喜欢的这种视觉呈现能够对应的这种媒介，这个是比较有意思的。
Only a block away from the tintype studio, we found ourselves shooting with Anaïs Martin, a French actress, photographer, and producer who has lived in Beijing for 25 years.
We are in a connected world already. It's so easy to speak with someone in another part of the world. Everything is connected, but you are back 25 years ago in China. That was another story. It was the far west for a French south of France lady. That was really a shock of everything, but I loved it. Mm-hmm. I was here for that. I was here for the shock.
Assisting us with the 8x10 gear needed to shoot with Anaïs was a man by the name of Master Ma. As we'll soon discover, Ma is a bit of a radical figure in the history of Polaroid and photography itself in China.
Okay, we go.
That's the master right there. That's how you do it. That's the manual
这个时候
pull.
就需要来猛的了，出不来了，你没办法了，你就只能
He's
带
seen it all before. Master Ma invited us over to his studio in a Beijing suburb, where I got to see the exploded view of his brain. And for better or worse, it looked a lot like my brain. I've been promised that Ma and I share a similar passion for the Polaroid 8x10 format, and I was not disappointed. But Ma's involvement with a photographic movement in China truly sent me over the edge in declaring Master Ma the baddie of Beijing.
一天我们一起聊的摄影会，是吧？这张片子是1980年的4月5号，这是摄影会的第2次自然社会人的展览的开幕。中国呢是这些艺术家呢，你是不能表达自己的一些思想的，啊，是不可以的，你全部都是要政府来主导这些东西的。那你就是一个工作，为这工作不是你自己去表达。那么从这次这些年轻人呢，觉得呢我们要表达，我们要把我们看到的东西要以我们的方式来呈现出来，所以这个在当时在中国是一个非常轰动的事情，是政府是不允许的。就是这个展览已经惊动了中央的领导，但中央领导当时呢还是不错的，说有一部分人建议就说马上要关掉，不可以再展了。但是当时的总书记是胡耀邦，胡耀邦说呢可以看一看，允许有不同的声音。啊，这样的话，所以这是中国改革开放时候一个很开明的一些那个时期，所以大家就做这件事情。所以这件事情到后面，中国的摄影史来说，就把它定作为新中国的摄影艺术的开端，这么一个标志性的。其中有一个老师，就是这个老师狄元仓，他是搞国外的这些资料整理研究的，所以他手里有很多资料。当时是我们要看到这些国外的这些艺术家的东西是看不到的，你是根本看不到。他有特殊的情况，他可以看到，所以他把这些知识这些东西都传达给这些年轻人，所以这些年轻人需要很多。
Ma went on to found a newspaper with others from this photographic society, and after moving on to a career in the arts, he fell face first into the rabbit hole of Polaroid, leading him to being on the front lines of the Impossible Project's mission to revive the 8x10 format.
2015年呢，Impossible 啊 ，Impossible 就是宝莱复产以后的公司，它生产的第一批这样的彩色相纸，那全球生产了160盒相纸。我因为当时非常非常感兴趣，以前没有接触过，所以我第一批我自己就买了70盒，啊。然后去对这个产品的技术方面进行了一个比较深入的研究，最后把它弄明白了。
Okay. 1、2、3 Okay. 好。Process. Let's see what we got. Nice to be at a studio.
We're gonna do a manual pull.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine?
Back in Ma's deranged playhouse. Whoa.
It's a military version.
Oh yeah.
It's a military version.
我这个是军版的，还有箱子，一会儿你看看。
It's like a lawnmower.
Complete packing.
Is that actually how you're gonna? Okay. Well, who am I to question you, Mr. Ma?
你来呀，
So I'm actually gonna do this. Better than the button.
你要用这个吗？
All right, I'm gonna do it.
Yes, you want to do it?
I mean,
Okay.
kinda, yeah. So just one pull.
要一直拉到头的。
Okay.
他说一下吧。
对。
1、2、3 What kind of bullshit
我
is
也
that?
出来了。
Oh my god.
There we go. Okay, all right, okay. What the hell?
这是手动的，这个是手动的。
I came to Master Ma's studio, and he had military-grade 8x10 processing. None of it worked, but it was fun to try. The scope of Ma's obsession with 8x10 is almost hard to quantify. After he purchased nearly half of the Impossible Project's first production run of 8x10 film, he flew to Enschede, Netherlands, to show the Polaroid chemists what he'd done with their film product, who were blown away by what he'd accomplished.
这个可以分享，我说你们是不是弄反了？我是用户， 我到你这儿来了，你是厂生产，我拿着我拍完的东西，你是不是应该告诉我，先生，你这个还有什么问题？
Ma and fellow director slash Polaroid fanatic Nick then said we should go out for a spin and take a drive to one of their favorite local spots. You probably wouldn't have heard of it. It's called the Great Wall of China. We have made our way to the Great Wall of China. Upon arrival, we started haggling with a local man who I don't really know his true intentions, but we picked him up. We put him in the car, and now he's with us. And we're now gonna haul our 8x10 kit up to some area that he has more exclusive access to because he's a local villager or something. No one's really explained any of this to me in English. I'm fighting for my life here in the club, but I think we're about to get some interesting vantage points. We'll see. I guess we're about to find out. We rapidly rigged up the 8x10 camera once we found a viable spot for shooting in both directions. Security wasn't like a huge fan of our overall footprint, not to mention that Master Ma planned to process the images on site. I gotta stop and think for 1 second what we're actually doing here. Taking an 8x10 image on the Great Wall of China. That's like actually insane. This garbage can is right in the shot. Jesse proceeded to move the garbage can, alerting security as if in a video game. Now it's just at the other side of the We quickly exposed 3 frames as security guards approached from both directions. These guards were not moving very fast. It seemed like when they were just close enough to take action, they would turn around and walk away. So I'm not really sure what that was about, but the vibes weren't ideal. Just as we were gonna move on to another location and comply with the security guys, we discovered all 3 frames we just shot were light leaked via the mobile processor malfunctioning. On the Great Wall of China, it's rejecting our advances. It doesn't like that we're trying to do this up here. This composition is a little bit close, Jones, but while not ideal, we quickly had to reshoot the frames, and the result is a bit of a rushed effort. Oh, wow. Okay, Great Wall. But that was only a piece of the puzzle in documenting this wonder of the world. I irrationally trusted the Seagull TLR, which I'd yet to see any results from, to capture more of this experience. And I'm glad I did. This camera has ultimately blown me away. And I also snapped with the Lomo LCA 120 for some compelling wide-angle looks, and of course, no journey goes unaccompanied by the Polaroid i2 and SX70. You know I had to bring an SX70 to the Great Wall. I even took around the digital TLR I bought at the camera market in Shanghai, seeing if I could perhaps take the worst images ever taken at the Great Wall. But unfortunately, their digital vibe ended up being kind of awesome, and I love having these janky digital doinker shots from such a legendary location of mankind. I've been asked by this camera company to sign the bellows, which is kind of crazy, but I'm doing it. They want it. Wow, this is kind of to be doing this. There it is. I will forever be emblazoned in these red bellows. I'll see you again, old friend. These stops in Shanghai and Beijing have been a rapid-fire education on the unusual historical journey of photography in China, and exposed us to some people who I'll absolutely cherish, having finally gotten the rare opportunity to meet. We spent hours in the car with Nick, nights eating incredible food with Master Ma, neither of whom spoke a word of English, but the language of Polaroid and the shared passion for capturing the world on film brought me closer to them than any functional conversation could have. On the next episode of this multi-part series, we meet the biggest camera in China, have a summit with Polaroid's new Shanghai office and one of their top local photographers, Super Tomato, and we explore the untold story of Polaroid's first arrival in China and the foundation of how instant film caught fire in one of the most populous countries in the world.
Hey, give me a wave. One more, yeah, keep going, keep going. All right.